This Pinterest account gets between 2.2 and 2.3 million monthly impressions, and I'm not in a typical niche like recipes or home decor, and this account is still growing. The main reason is I use specific keywords, not random guesses, but real search data. And that's where PinClicks comes in. It's a Pinterest keyword tool that shows you exactly what people are looking for, so you can create content that actually gets clicks. I'll show you how it works and help you figure out if it's a tool worth adding to your workflow. So let's go and hop in. So on logging in, you are taken to the Keyword Explorer section, which is where you'll spend a lot of your time. Now, it's important to understand that keywords on Pinterest are a little bit different from keywords on Google. When people are on Google, they might type in local searches or searches that will help them solve a particular problem, long tail keywords. That's not really what people are looking for on Pinterest. On Pinterest, people are looking for ideas and inspiration. So the style of keyword is a bit different. So to demonstrate this, let's just choose a random niche of aromatherapy. So maybe we've got an aromatherapy website and I'm just going to type in that as a key C word. So we've got aromatherapy, we hit enter and we wait for things to come back. And what we get are keywords with aromatherapy in them. Now, these are keywords that people are actively searching for on Pinterest. So we've got aromatherapy, aesthetic, candles, massage, recipes, and a bunch of other things in there, diffusers, oils. And we get the search volume. These are monthly searches pulled directly from Pinterest. Sometimes you'll see unknown. That just means that the tool has not crawled this page yet to get the volume, or potentially it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean you don't need to go after it, but that's another topic altogether. Now, what you can see here is to the right of this, we have taxonomy, related interests, and then see top pins. Now, a lot of people struggle to understand what taxonomy means with Pinterest. So I've put together this little document that might help. It basically means Pinterest has put that keyword into a defined category. So aromatherapy may connect to essential oils and then diffuser blends as an example. It basically helps Pinterest understand what the keyword's about. So if you are going to create content around the word aromatherapy, Pinterest knows exactly how to group it and recommend it to the right people. People who are browsing things like essential oils, natural wellness. It's a signal to you that it's a strong keyword to use across your content if Pinterest is indeed the traffic source that you're focused on. So what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to make sure that both of these are checked. I'll then click and wait for a second, and then it's only going to show the ones that have taxonomy and related interests. So now I know, for example, aromatherapy candles, massage diffusers, etc. are all things that I could consider. I'm not just going to go and create content on all of these things without doing a bit more research, but this is a good starting point. Now let's go here to aromatherapy candles. We can click on this, and what we get here are related interests. So these are keywords that we could include across a variety of places. So we could create a Pinterest board and we could just call it aromatherapy candles. We know that this is an important keyword in the aromatherapy niche, and we want to make sure that we name our boards something that people are actually searching for. So I could create a board, call it aromatherapy candles, and within my board description, I could potentially try and naturally incorporate some of these keywords. These are also referred to as annotations sometimes on Pinterest. So I could copy these and save them somewhere. I could use AI to create a simple board description and have these keywords in there. But now I've got a board targeting aromatherapy candles, it's now time to do some more research. Now, if I were to click on this, this would take me to Pinterest where I could view this keyword. However, when you are logged in, often the results are skewed. So I recommend that you either go to an incognito tab or stay inside of the tool. So if I go back to Keyword Explorer, and then we'll just put aromatherapy candles back in and hit enter, we've got these here. Now we've also got other keywords related to aromatherapy candles as well. Now, aromatherapy candles and candles aromatherapy is kind of the same thing, and it doesn't make sense to me to use this keyword because it's not how I would say it. But we've got other, secondary keywords that we can potentially use as well, and we can either put them all together or we can use them to create separate content. So if we go to aromatherapy candles again and come here to see top pins, this is going to show us the pins that are currently doing well for this particular keyword. And we want to look at the intent. So what I can see here, we've got Walmart, Next one is Etsy. Then if we kind of come down, we've got some blogs. We've got a mixture of e-com and blog content. Now, if I've got a blog, but all of these results are showing Walmart, Etsy, Amazon, etc., then it's probably not something that I'm going to want to go after because it's an e-commerce intent keyword on Pinterest. But if I've got a blog and I want to create a piece of content about aromatherapy candles and all of these other ones are blogs as well, then that's a good sign. This particular one is a little bit of a mix, but it's probably something I would go after if this were indeed my particular niche. So what we can do is we can come up here and we can basically sort by any of these. So currently this is ranking number 1. It was created March the 15th, 2025. So not too long ago. So it's a good sign that, new pins are currently ranking. As for a pin score, this reflects engagement and recency. It's kind of like how optimized are the pins. Personally, I don't pay too much attention to this when I'm looking at this stuff, but it might be something you're interested in. You can come across here and you can see that these pins are not getting a lot of comments or reactions. So it's, they're not getting a whole ton of traction, but what we can do is just choose a particular pin and see what kind of stuff is going on. So this one here, it's got a high pin score, some saves, it's ranked number 4. So if we kind of hover over it and come down here, we can see that it's just an image. There's no text overlay, and this is something super simple to create. Now, whether you are to create this by taking a real photo, using a paid or free stock photo, or God forbid AI, then it would be easy to craft something like this. Now, I know a ton of people are against AI. I think that's something that needs to be addressed in a separate video because it's a big topic. But look, we can look at this description. We've got these annotated interests as well, so we could copy these. And when we're getting our description written, we could try to incorporate some of these, if they make sense, into our description. And then we'd pin this image onto our aromatherapy candles board. And you can kind of go through and have a look at some of these other ones. But you can see a lot of these are actually e-commerce related. Shein, for example, where it says uploaded by user, they're not linking out anywhere. So again, you've got to make the call as to whether you think this would be a particular important keyword to go after, but there is some decent search volume, so it may be worth adding. Now, when it comes to blog content, you need to have content to send to people. So you're going to have to go and then create an article focusing on aromatherapy candles that you can then send people from Pinterest to. Now, listicles are popular when it comes to Pinterest, but you don't want to overdo it. There are certain ad networks that are cracking down on sites that are only listicles. So you want to kind of, incorporate some listicles and then incorporate some regular pieces of content as well. But this is such an easy listicle style topic. You could have, the 20 best aromatherapy candles or whatever it might be. But this would be an easy listicle to create. And again, I'll have another video which shows you how to create listicles really, really quickly if you wanted to. But you've got your listicle that you create, you publish it on your site, you would then go and create some pins, and then you would pin them inside of your board. But you wouldn't know if this was a good keyword if you didn't have a tool such as PinClicks. Now, yes, you can go into the ads manager of Pinterest and find keywords that way. You can do all this like back and forth in incognito. This just keeps it all in one tab. So this is a great way to validate whether a keyword is something worth moving forward with. So the next option down here is pin stat. So if we click on this, it brings us here. Why would you want to know the pin stats of a certain pin? Well, it's a great way to see how well a pin is doing. And oftentimes you can't see this data on Pinterest itself, so you're going to have to go and grab the URL of a pin and check it out that way. So let's go to incognito. I'm just going to click on explore ideas, and I'm just going to put in aromatherapy again. Oops, start typing that in, aromatherapy, and you can see these are the keywords that PinClicks brought up. We'll hit enter and we'll just see what pin is doing well for this particular keyword. And again, you want to make sure you do this in incognito, otherwise your results will be skewed. So you can choose any of these on the first page. So let's just go with the one that's number 1. Let's click on this. Let's just bring this down there so you can see it. We can click on this. Before we do that, let's click and see where this is taking us. It's going to a website that's got blog content on there, so the kind of thing that would be fairly simple to create. We've got ads on here as well, so we know they're monetizing this through ads. So let's take that URL and let's get rid of that, and let's put that in here, and then it's going to bring the pin up and we'll see how well it's doing. So we can see that this pin was created the end of September 2024. It's got a bunch of saves, so people are saving it to their accounts as well, which gives it more chance to grow because people that are following these other accounts can then see it and potentially click through. It's only got one comment, that's fine, and it's got 170 reactions. So again, this is one pin. If you are uploading multiple pins daily, which you should be, some of these pins will take off and then you'll start to see traffic. Next is saved pins. So you can save a pin and you can see how well it's doing. So we can see this pin that I saved before has had a ton of saves. It's got some comments and reactions. So again, you can hover over it and you can check it out and you can do a bit of research. But this is a great place to save pins if you're busy and you want to come back and check them later. Rank tracker, if you want to, you can add a keyword and you can do a little bit of tracking here. So how your keyword rankings change on Pinterest over time. So if you've got a keyword that you're going for, again, you can basically, do a bit of research here. We've got search tracker as well, which I don't particularly use. This is getting new keyword ideas based on what Pinterest has just started showing. This section here is if you want to save some keywords for later, and then that's just your account as well. For most people, and I include myself in this, we spend most of the time in the Keyword Explorer, and it's just a really useful thing to do. Now, if we scroll down here, these are the main kind of niches or topics or whatever you want to call them, interests that Pinterest has, but pretty much all of my sites, bar one, are not in any of these things. So don't think that you have to be in one of these things. But let's see what happens. If you were to click on travel, for example, wait for a second, kind of click outside, then within the travel interest, these are the keywords that are top. So Paris, New York, Japan. So let's just say you've got a blog that is based on New York or traveling around North America. You could click on New York and then you can get some ideas here. Now, this crazy volume, I wouldn't necessarily be going after New York, especially if you're new, but it could be a good starting point. You could go after some of these. You've got these related searches. Again, for the term New York, you've just got random people uploading pictures. They're not going anywhere, but it could make a great starting point. Now, you often see things like this on Pinterest, wallpaper or aesthetic. So if I was to click on wallpaper, for example, these are generally just designs that people can kind of go to and use them for screensavers or put them on their phone or etc. So I personally don't think things like wallpaper or aesthetic are good keywords to go after, even though they do have a lot of search volume, because at the end of the day, most people are going to be using Pinterest to try to drive traffic back to their site. So you really want to focus on the keywords that, have blog posts or articles attached to them here. So hopefully that's a little bit of, use when it comes to how to use PinClicks. They do have a free trial. I believe it's 5 days. So there'll be a link below. You can go and grab a free trial. And if you like it, then you can go ahead and join. I'll leave that entirely up to you. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some value out of this video, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.